on, guys? BSG Trek Fan 88 here, and today I was going to review my iPad mini. What the hell? No. Okay. A week ago, I bought the iPad mini, open box model from Best Buy, so I spent $300 on it as opposed to $330. $30 difference. Now you're thinking, okay, Smith, you never buy used products like that unless it's something that you know isn't technology. Well, I looked at it, and to be honest, it's one of the best open boxes that I've ever seen at Best Buy, and that's actually me speaking from somebody who worked for Best Buy for 5.5 years. Nothing against the company, nothing to do with that, but you know, sometimes an open box model has a scratch on it or it just doesn't look clean. The iPad mini looked like it was brand new. I mean, that's the only reason I said, okay, screw it, I'll eat the $30 and buy a screen protector. Now, you're wondering where my iPad is. Well, obviously, we all know that Apple announced the new iPads and the new iPad mini with Retina display and the new iPad Air. Now, I was originally going to say, okay, heck with it, I'll keep the old one and save some money. Now, I knew from the rumors that I had been reading about before I bought the iPad mini. Oh, and yes, that's the World Series with my home team playing in the background. That's how I roll. I watch the World Series, but you know what? We're leading 5-0 at the bottom of the 6th. I'll record a video. I wasn't going to upgrade right away, in the sense that, well, having an iPad mini, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute, there's reasons why I bought it. But I knew that they were coming out with new models, and I said, okay, what are they going to do? Put the Retina display in it? That's a no-brainer. Maybe make it a different size, maybe make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, whatever. Well, unfortunately for me, they put their brand new A7 chip in it, which I didn't think they were going to do. I thought they were going to put the Retina display, I thought they were going to put, different memory options, maybe different colors, but I didn't think they would update the processor for the iPad mini, being as small as it is. But they're going to. They're putting the A7 in it, which is actually technically more powerful than what's in my iPhone 5. 64-bit architecture. I think it's a quad core, or is it a dual core? Whatever. It doesn't matter. The fact is, it is more powerful. It's also going to have 2 antennas for Wi-Fi as opposed to 1. One thing I did notice on the iPad, and I was going to do a review about it, but it's not here anymore, is that I found that compared to my iPhone and my laptop, Wi-Fi connection speeds wasn't the quickest thing. I mean, it was doable, but for a tablet, just using it for the internet and nothing else, I was kind of disappointed, but not hugely disappointed. So anyway, obviously this is just the case. Now, the iPad 2 with Retina display is actually like 0.2 millimeters thicker than the original iPad mini. So will it fit in my ballistic case that I dropped $35 on? I'm willing to bet that it is, because it's the same height, it's the same width, it's a little bit more in weight, I believe, but the only difference is the depth. Now, this, isn't solid metal, it's rubber, so it'll flex. I think it's going to be a tight fit, but I'm really hoping it fits. Obviously, I already put my sticker on here. I have to use it now. Worst case, I would sell this with or without the sticker, but I really don't want to. I like the ballistic case, as I showed you in my last video. Now, back before the house fire, I had a technological empire. I had my built computer with an i7 in it. I had my MacBook Pro from 2008. I had my home theater system, TV, etc. Now, right now, and until we get our insurance, or until I get my insurance money, I'm running off of this laptop here. Now, I go to PAX. I travel at least twice a year. I go away for a few days, like I went to DC. I'm going to be going to New York. Now, even if I didn't have the house fire and I had my MacBook and my computer, I didn't like traveling with a laptop because a laptop is expensive, And of course, I have an iPhone 5. I can do anything and almost everything on this phone that I could possibly want to do on a computer. The only difference is the interface, and of course, it's a small screen. So, I realized that I've been working off of a laptop since May, since the fire. So number one, this laptop that I'm holding, or it's on my desk, that's all I have. That's where all my music is. That luckily got saved from the fire. That's the only thing I got to keep, literally. That was part of my life. I don't want to risk losing it again if something happens to the laptop. Secondly, if something happens to the laptop forgetting the music, I have no way of getting on the internet. I have no way of doing my thing when I get home. Usually when I come home from work, First thing I do is take my shoes and socks off, change, maybe shower if it's a really bad day, and then I go online and I spend a good half hour looking at my YouTube subscriptions, email, managing my bank account, and then I watch some TV or go online. So it's the only thing I really have besides my phone, and let's be honest, even though a phone can do Wi-Fi, it's not the same as being on a laptop or a computer. So I then thought about, okay, I already have this fairly decent laptop. It has the i5 newer generation in it. It has a good screen, a very impressive screen for its price range. This Asus has performed pretty well. But I really don't want to have to get another laptop, and or I might sell this, I don't know, whatever. Again, this is all going to happen down the road, but I figured, okay, I need something that I can travel with, that I'm going to be keeping even when I get all my stuff back, to simply sit on the bed, watch TV, surf the web, go on, of course, Facebook and YouTube. Again, like I said before, something I can travel with, and that's where the iPad comes into play. I know people who have the original iPad and not the iPad mini. I've used it, it's a great tool, but for a tablet, for me personally, it's too big. The iPad mini, which I'll use this because this is pretty much, the same size minus a little bit on the outside. This is I know that there's the Kindle Fire, I know that there are the Samsung tablets, Android tablets, and I went over reasons in other videos on why I went with the iPad mini. Design is one thing. As I said before, say what you want about Apple versus Android, etc. The design of their products, you have to give them that. I mean, the design, they're amazing. And yes, I cover them with a case, but the other thing too is because I had my music backed up on an iPod, I kind of had to use iTunes to get every single song. I looked at different options, I looked at different programs, even ones that I would pay money for, but it wouldn't guarantee getting every single song. If I used iTunes, I got every single song, album art, same quality as if nothing ever happened with the Fire. So, without risking anything, I decided to go with an iPad mini. It's the perfect size for me for both travel and home use. Its weight, its battery life was fine for me. I really debated on getting one with LTE network, but because I have the everything plan with Sprint, I figured I would just simply pay $30 more a month and have 5 gigabytes of data. I'm sorry. 5 gigs of data for a Wi-Fi hotspot. For $10 more, I could have gotten. So for $40 a month, I could have gotten an iPad mini with 6 gigs of data, and it would be all self-inclusive, meaning I wouldn't have to mess with my phone, but it's a separate bill, and of course, it's $10 more a month. Whereas I know I'm always going to have my phone. The only time I would ever use the iPad on its own without a Wi-Fi source is if the power is out, or if I'm traveling and there's no Wi-Fi network. But at the same time, again, I'm going to have my phone, so why not spend less money, have one bill, make it simple, keep it simple, and just use this as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now you're probably saying, oh, well, you have to go through the hassle of making this a Wi-Fi hotspot. Big deal. I push the lock button, 3 settings, and I'm done. That being said, I really did debate about getting an all-inclusive, iPad mini with data through Sprint. Say what you want about Sprint. I've had them for almost 8 years now, and yeah, their coverage, especially with the iOS update, which I just updated this to 7.3. Let's see if this changes the whole data connection issue, which that's going to be my next video if this keeps up. But anyway, Sprint has been nice to me. There have been times where I couldn't pay my bill when I didn't have a job. The house fire, I called them and I was like, look, I don't even have the phone right now. Can you just, don't delete my account. Just hold on until I get the phone back. And for 2 months, they said, okay, we'll just put your account on hold. You won't have to pay us. And tell you what, when you get the new phone, like when I got the iPhone and paid outright for it, they said you won't have to pay us for those 2 months you didn't use it. Just activate the phone, call us, and we'll start your billing cycle again. There have been times where I'm a month behind and they don't things like that. So I will give them credit where credit is due. But after a lengthy thought process, I did return the iPad mini in perfect working order. I restored it, so you had to connect it to iTunes, i.e. it's like it's brand new on the box. No scratches, no dents, no dings, perfect condition, no screen protector, but I looked at the screen, there's not even a faint hint of, light use. So, I will be getting an iPad mini 2 with Retina display. I guess you could call it just the iPad mini with Retina display, because the only difference is the chip and the antennas and the screen. Whatever. We're still top of the 7th, nothing in 5. Wait, sweet. It'll be the first Apple product that I have bought on launch day or on launch week. The money I got from this when I returned it, and as well as YouTube money. I recently got paid from YouTube, about $100 and change. Thank you, government shutdown, because my West Wing video gained about 10,000 views, and that's $100. As well as a lot of my other videos. Every video I have is monetized, and it's a collective, payout. I will be getting the iPad with Retina display. I don't know if I'm going to get the 32 or 16. The iPhone 5 is 32, primarily because I use this for music when I'm on the go or working. And I bought this primarily for, internet, Facebook, YouTube. But being an iPad mini and being used with travel, the potential to put videos on this, I noticed that with my playlists cut down and a couple videos, I was already short on space. But the other side of the coin is, when I'm using this, I typically have Wi-Fi, or at least this, I can use Netflix, or movies that people have uploaded to YouTube, or Hulu. The problem is, how many gigabytes is a movie, or how many megabytes is a movie to watch? And it's not like I sit down and watch a movie all the way through. It's usually hit and run, or hit and miss. So anyway, this video primarily was just talking about the iPad mini and the recent events at the Apple press conference. I do like that they're putting the Retina display in. I always did feel, even when this came out, I may not have bought it or owned it, but I am current on technology. I watch keynotes, not live, but I watch them when I go home from work, I think about them, and I have thoughts about them. And I did think that the iPad mini was a great idea. The iPad itself, it's an iPad. It was one of the first of its kind. It is quite large compared to a lot of tablets, so the iPad mini was the next logical step. I did think the price point was a little bit high for a non-Retina display, but now they're reducing the non-Retina display iPad mini to $300 as opposed to $330. I was really hoping they would lower it to, like, I don't know, $279.99, below the $300 mark, or at $300 with tax, depending on which state you live in. The iPad mini with Retina display, 16 gig non-LTE, is going to be, I want to say $400. I had the price in front of me. And of course it goes up from there. I will be getting one. I will be doing a review on it. Real quick, my thoughts on the iPad Air, which was the latest, newest thing. Sweet. It's smaller. It weighs a pound. It has the same processing ability as the current iPads. Better processing ability than some netbooks and even some low-end laptops. And it claims it has the same battery life, up to 10 hours. I mean, that's big. I think the iPad Air, as much as I like the Kindle Fire and the Android tablets, the iPad Air, I really did look at the specs. I've looked at some other people's reviews and point of views. That's pretty big, if it holds up to the hype and if it holds up to what they talk about on the keynote and all the specifications. But to have something like this, and I think this is perfect for me, thickness-wise, weight-wise, to have something even smaller, wow. I mean, it really does remind me of science fiction. Anyway, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I'm a casual consumer. I used Android for a long time. I'm still a Windows PC guy, not Windows 8. I love Windows 7, but I have to use Windows 8 on this laptop. But I do appreciate what Apple is doing in some cases, not all. Also, they just made their operating system free of charge, and a lot of apps that people genuinely use to better themselves and to be more productive in the world and have more fun, made them free. Hell, I just downloaded iMovie. I haven't downloaded it because it costs money. Now it's free. That's a big step, and that's pretty good. But if you think about it, it comes free with their laptops anyway, so yeah, that, and they really never made much of a profit off of it because of the cost of making discs back in the day. Anyway, BHG Trek Fan 88 here. Have a good night. Hope the Red Sox win. Woo!